What's happening, people? Welcome back to the DUDEPOOL Gamescast. I'm the host of this beautiful show, the Dude 250, Nick Danger, Nicky D, Nicky James, call me whatever you want. Hanging out with my man Taylor Sager, the video game Schwarzenegger, known online as Aliens Exist. Add us up on your preferred gaming station, be that PC or PS4. And today, we're talking about... What are we talking about?
Zelda.
This right here that we're watching on the screen.
Zelda, Breath of Wind? Breath of Fire?
Breath of Burps. I believe it's Breath of Fire. No, Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild.
So it's open world, it's crazy, it's new, it's hot, it's coming out sometime in 2017.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
The hottest game of 2017.
Yeah. So we still don't know exactly when it's coming out. We know that it's going to be on the Wii U and on the NX, which is supposed to be coming out in March.
Correct.
Of 2017. Hopefully this comes out before then. Nobody really knows.
It's very pretty.
It's very, very pretty.
Very colorful. I like color a lot. My favorite aspect, actually, of the last one, Skyward Sword, was how vibrant it was.
Yeah.
I love color in my games. I really do.
Yeah.
It just makes it feel so magical, I suppose.
Yeah.
This
one is
cool.
still very cartoony, just like Skyward Sword was.
It is, but I feel it's a bit more, I don't know. It's cartoony like Skyward Sword, but it's almost more cel-shaded a la Wind Waker.
Wind Waker, yeah.
But it's like, I feel like they merged those two together a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got like, it's not Toon Link.
Nope.
Like in Wind Waker, but it's got the cel-shaded style and the more, I don't know, adulty version of Link here doing his thing.
Yeah, they haven't done a
Which I
Link.
totally dig. Like, I dig this art style. I didn't get behind Wind Waker because it's not that I don't like cel-shaded, it's just that it was too cutesy.
It's very cutesy,
You know, his head was fucking massive.
It's very weird. It's kind of like Arnold from Hey Arnold. You know?
Yeah, or
football
Stewie.
Head. Yeah, or
From
Stewie.
Family Guy. Yeah, totally.
A
It was
more of a better
wasn't
reference.
really my steez or my style. I could see how people could get with it, but it wasn't really for me, I should say, you know?
I fucking love that game.
Yep. In terms
Sailing
of gameplay,
around
I'm sure it was
and
sweet.
shit like that, yeah. And the story's great. It actually has one of the more violent endings in any of the Zeldas.
Yeah, I've seen it where he stabs Ganon right through the head. But even like,
right in the fucking head. It's great. Yeah, it
That's
just
cool.
runs him right through. It's pretty awesome. Sorry.
it still looks kind of, well, whatever. Play it by now or don't. Fuck off.
Well, they just did the HD remake for the Wii U, so if you haven't played it, you should play it on there and see that sweet, sweet video. It's probably great in the HD.
Yeah. But it's not, it isn't that sweet.
That game
not
is
even
that
any
game's
blood.
awesome. No, it's not.
Just
There's no blood.
It looks like this.
It's great. It's super great. But
And not like a dick going.
this is their first HD Zelda that they're making from the ground up, and I mean it looks great. It
looks really
fucking
cool.
insane.
Like, it's got a day and night cycle, obviously. That
Yep.
just switched. It looked very, very nice.
Yeah, and weather and stuff like that is also a thing.
Traversal seems to be a big element in this game. How they got the stamina gauge when you're climbing on stuff like that. It's very akin to Shadows of the Colossus.
Yeah, they did that in the last one in Skyward Sword.
Oh,
as
really?
Well. Yeah.
See, I only played that game for about 5 hours or so.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't like it. It's not that I didn't like the gameplay anymore. It's just the birds threw me off.
I really it was
The
certainly
format was a
again
bit different.
more cartoony than Twilight Princess.
Yeah, see, I don't want
which
more
was the one
cartoony.
they did
This
before.
it's cartoony, but it's cool cartoony. It looks more to me like
This is like an HD version of what Skyward Sword is like. As far as the how cartoony it is. I mean, it's very, very similar. The art style and stuff like that in Skyward Sword is very much like this. I mean, except for the birds and stuff like that are just a little bit ridiculous looking, but they're made off of a certain type of bird. I can't remember what kind of bird it is, but it does have that weird fucking looking beak and all that
yeah,
kind of
they
shit.
just bugged me, and I don't know. I don't know, but maybe I need to give it another try. But also,
great.
I think the
It's
other
really
part
good.
that really, really killed it for me was the waggle controls.
Yeah, the
and
motion
that shit.
controls is.
I can't get into that. I just can't. I just drop it after a few hours, and I'm like, nah,
it's
not
the
how
reason
I
why
play
don't-
games.
Yeah, it's the reason why I don't pick it up more often. Usually when I go back to play a Zelda game, I'll play Majora's Mask or Ocarina just because I've got the controller and I'll just sit down and play that, and I don't have to fucking waggle the shit around, use the nunchuck, and like you have to do a lot of movements.
Is there no other way to play that Zelda game?
No, you have to, because it's like the holding the sword above your head. And charging it. Yeah, is like a huge part of that game. Yeah,
fucking stupid.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And there's doors with like these eyes that you have to spin the sword around and confuse them. I think they had that in Twilight Princess as well in the Wii. But I
like the open world structure of this game. It looks pretty fucking sweet.
Very, very open worldy. I don't know if I don't think hearts just like drop out of
enemies.
Out of grass and enemies and stuff like that. I think you have to actually cook food and eat it, or eat it raw, and stuff like that. So yeah, you can just like throw stuff into fires and it'll cook it. Or throw it into a cooking pot like he's doing here. You can cook up all that stuff and eat it, and you'll get sometimes like health boosters and stuff like that. And then there's also health potions and stuff again. I don't know how many jars there's going to be or what that deal is with the potions.
Right.
But it looks like consumable items and stuff like that is going to be a big thing in this, which is kind of cool. There's also 2 new gauges that they're adding. There's one for sound, so you can sneak around bases and stuff like that and see how loud you're being,
right?
So that you can sneak up on people. There's also another gauge for temperature, which is the temperature out like around you in the area around you.
Right.
So if it's too hot or too cold, you will lose hearts and stuff like that and lose your health.
Yeah. You were telling me about that, how he was up on a mountain getting hypothermia or whatever until he found a torch, and then he wasn't losing any hearts.
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly. Yeah, he lit a stick on fire.
It's been done in games before, but it's a neat addition.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool thing to do. You can also make like heavier clothing, I think, or better tunics essentially to wear to stave that stuff off. And also the equipment, like your weapons and shield and all that kind of stuff, it all breaks. It looks like for the most part you're just picking it up off of enemies,
right?
And like your arsenal is just made up of weapons that you find around places. I'm guessing just like every other Zelda game, you're going to find the Master Sword at some point.
If you don't, there'll be an uproar. You kind of have to.
I mean, the last game was entirely about like building the Master Sword. Essentially,
right.
you're making the Master Sword. So I mean, you have to have it in this one eventually. I'm sure you'll get the Hylian shield just like you could get it in the last game. But
yeah, and I mean, we just saw a classic example of Zelda gameplay. He got the axe, and then the axe allowed him to chop down that tree, which granted access to a whole new level of that area.
And he got that Korok leaf, if you didn't see, which is from Wind Waker. Yeah, it's from Wind Waker.
That's why I don't know.
It's a thing you can hold it above your head and like.
You do the float thing.
And do the float thing. You can also like.
It's like a little hang glider.
You can make it like wind bursts with it. You use it like a fan and like blow wind out of it. It's pretty cool.
Just like my butt.
Just like your butt, man.
Yeah,
just
man.
Like your butt. But I mean, I think it looks like the best Zelda game that they've got going. I don't know.
So what I'm seeing here in terms of gameplay and stuff, the frame rate looks rock fucking solid. But you were telling me something a little of the opposite.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading anyway. Is that I guess that's like the only downside essentially that people are looking at here is that it's not full 720p. I don't think the HD, and the frame rate does drop below 30 if you're doing quite a bit of stuff with like fire or water or.
See, that's rough.
Stuff like that. So that's what I've heard.
That's probably reported on the Wii U specs.
Yeah, because nobody has an NX, right?
Yeah.
So and you can't play it on anything. I don't think they have like computer builds for it or anything like that,
right?
Or they haven't released it anyway. So you can only play it on the Wii U. And that's what the people who have played it are saying. And I think that's mostly just people who played it at E3. So it might be just like something there, like a build that they had just for the show that was just a little bit weird, and they still have quite a bit of time to work on it before it comes out.
Word, yeah, well,
so
yeah, they do.
I don't know if that's going to be a thing when it actually comes out.
It's true, because usually what they like optimization, usually they probably gets worked on a certain amount throughout the development, but then they really start hammering that shit home once everything else is ironed out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To
and
optimize over most of the platforms. And I'm sure they want it optimized for their newest console, the NX, before the Wii U, because let's face it, they probably already know exactly how many copies the Wii U one will sell. If they're not selling any more Wii U's.
Yeah, exactly. But it depends on if they're gonna release it before or after the NX comes out. So if they want to release the Wii U version before the NX comes out in March, and get sales that way.
I mean, I'm pretty convinced they'll probably release this game for the NX before we even know what the fucking NX is.
Yeah.
They just haven't talked about it.
Yeah, that's probably going to be
They
what
fucking
happens,
missed their boat at E3, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they want to do their own thing again. Just them. It's just Nintendo. They're going to play their own sort of ball game.
That's cool. Play your own ball game, but
Not
you
really
still need to
including
create
anybody else.
market awareness.
Yeah, I know.
About
Yeah,
what the product
and
is
that's
that
where
they want everybody to buy and get excited about.
And that's where the media goes, right? Like that's what they're going to look at it. But I mean, I think that they're like, we're Nintendo. When we announce a new console, people come and they.
Yeah, but that only lasts for so long. They're not a fucking. Sure, you can say they have a fuckload of money, but they're no Walmart. They're not that big. In terms of video game development, sure. But they better get their heads out of their ass soon, because if they don't do this NX thing right, they are in big fucking trouble. They will lose a lot of investors.
Yeah, but they have tons of money.
they've-
They don't need us. I think the people that are invested in Nintendo are going to stay invested in Nintendo for a long time, regardless. And I think they could do years like they did this year.
I mean, their IP alone's
for
worth so much that yeah, you're
centuries.
probably right. But at the same time, if they show that they've been steadily losing money for how long's the Wii U been out for?
It came out before the one, right? Like a year before the Xbox One.
Yeah,
and PS4.
Yeah.
So 4 years.
so if they're
Maybe
going
5
if they're
years?
going 5 years and with reported loss after loss,
Yeah.
because they're not making much money right now.
I don't
can't
know
be.
if they're losing, but
They have to be. They have to be, right? Like, they have to be. There's no way they aren't. I haven't looked at the market standings, so yeah, I am talking out of my ass. Let's just be
like
clear
the
here.
3 the
But
3DS still sells
if they're
quite a
not
bit.
showing at least a decent amount of growth over the last 5 or 6 years, that's going to be very troublesome for a lot of investors.
They're certainly not growing, but they know that the Wii U is dead, and they realized it's just like
Yeah, but if they're not growing, they're not making any money for their investors, which is a problem.
yeah, but I mean they're not always they're not making money off of this generation. That's why they're doing a new one. Well, it's not why, but
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
looking to the next one.
If you look at their history, though, it is an interesting company. Their NES made a lot of money.
Yep.
The SNES made even more fucking money.
Yep.
The Virtual Boy failed miserably.
Yeah.
The what was after that? 64.
Yeah.
As much as we loved it, and people have great memories of it in their youth or whatever, it was a commercial failure. It sold a hell of a lot less than their previous console.
Yeah.
And it sold
Sold
a
more than
hell of a
Virtual
lot
Boy.
less compared to its competition.
It sold a lot less
So
than
it's a
PlayStation.
commercial failure.
Yeah.
On top of and then the GameCube, same thing. It did.
It was. Yeah,
I
they
think
were
it did
out
a
of
bit
at
more
that
numbers than the 64,
Probably.
but it didn't fucking even hold a candle to the PS2
No.
or
Or
the
Xbox,
Xbox
yeah. No.
at all.
Yeah, they were on the losing side by that point.
Right, and then they hit the Wii,
the
and they
Wii.
hit big. They
Yeah.
hit big right off the bat, and then it dropped completely.
Yeah,
Like the
I
Wii
think
went,
that's-
whoa, that's fucking crazy,
20 million Wii's.
and then it's just
Something
dead.
like
And then the Wii U came out to nothing. So since they're Super Nintendo, the only thing that's made them money is the Wii. That's how much fucking money. Well, I shouldn't say it made them money.
Yeah.
The only thing that made them that much growth.
Well, I mean, the Wii has sold like the most essentially systems or whatever. Like,
Ever.
Yeah.
It was a gargantuan.
So
A gargantuan.
it's
if
pretty
they
hard
didn't have
to-
that, they'd be fucked right now.
Yeah, they'd be a little, in definitely a worse spot. I don't know if they'd be fucked.
They'd be fucked.
But,
And I think the fact that they're even touching mobile devices right now is proof of how fucked they've been.
But this game is different than like you couldn't put Pokemon Go on.
No. They've already said they're going to be moving into mobile space with their other IPs.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's a sign of the times, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
And
I mean, how can you argue with that when everyone has literally everyone
that's
has
their
a
ace in the
fucking
hole,
phone,
though.
so.
Those IPs. If they're ever in trouble,
Yeah.
they release a
Yeah.
little fucking 2D platformer Mario game.
Yeah.
And it's gonna sell like fucking banana cakes, man.
Sell a couple movies off, and yeah, they can.
Nah, I don't think they'll want to do movies. That can really hurt the brand. If
Yeah.
it flops, that can really ratchet and clank it. You know.
Yeah. I don't know if that really hurts.
But you know what I mean. They're not as big as Mario.
More like Mario Bros. They're fucking shit. But again, that really didn't like like those things flop, and people just kind of think it's funny. And
If the NX fails, do you think Do you think that they would just go right left field with it, and sell off IPs
and license
or
to a
out?
different to like PlayStation?
Disney will come a knocking.
Yeah, Disney would come a knocking to buy them.
That's what I mean.
Like wholeheartedly, yeah. But I don't think that Disney, well, they could afford it, but I don't think that they would see it as a strategic business plan at this point. I don't know, because they don't make video games by themselves.
You don't
right?
think they'd add just a Nintendo wing to a Disneyland park?
Yeah,
Make
but
fucking tons
Nintendo
of
has
money.
their own parks coming. Like they're building their own parks. Nintendo's already spreading out into that area.
Are they?
Yeah,
When's that happening?
I don't know, but
'Cause I want to go to that right now.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Let's go on an actual Mario Kart track.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you're
dude.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, they're starting to do that kind of stuff. They are starting to spread out a little bit more. I think
They have
do
to.
want, and I think it is because
It's funny. My girl.
they are shaky.
She was messaging me
games.
from. She was on a little trip and she was in a candy store and she's like, you know, they have like licensed Nintendo candy and shit
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised. I've had like Mario energy drinks.
Yep.
And crazy
Yeah,
shit
that
like
shit,
that.
yeah.
They're making money hand over fist.
Yeah,
from
merchandising,
their
yeah.
IPs and
merchandising,
Oh, yeah.
merchandising.
That's
yeah.
what they do fucking very well because
Yeah.
they are a toy company.
Yep.
Amiibos probably
Yeah, the
made them.
Amiibos
They
are
probably made
insane,
more
yeah.
money off Amiibos than Wii U sales completely.
I don't know, but I don't know what the profit
probably
margin
'cause this is all
on that.
speculation.
Yeah,
I
I don't
know
know what the
shit,
margins are on that, but I know that they sold a lot. They didn't sell as much as the Disney ones did,
They were
but
fucking cracked. They were like Beanie Babies
Yeah.
for Wii U owners,
yeah,
man.
yeah, and they're still doing
Because
more.
they
Like
weren't
with
getting
the
good games, so they had to buy something.
with the new Zelda, you can get the Twilight Princess Wolf amiibo,
Cool.
and he follows you around and attacks guys with you and
That's
shit
dope.
like that. Yeah. So yeah, they're still doing that shit for the Wii U,
Yeah.
and I mean they might even bring that over to the NX. I don't see why they wouldn't. Like that, like you said, they make fucking shit tons of money, and if more people buy the NX, they're just gonna make even fucking more money. Like. Because the install base on the Wii U isn't that big.
Oh, they'll never stop making little toys and stuff like that now. I
Yeah.
bet that's
Well,
a big
yeah.
market. It
But
really is.
The ones that interact with the actual console.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know,
see, I see them growing that. But
That'd be cool.
I mean, we've diverged off of Zelda a little bit, but I think they kind of both go hand in hand.
Well, this is
Do you
all they
think-
had at E3.
Yeah, exactly.
Nintendo
Do you-
went to E3 with just this. This is Nintendo. This
That's all they needed. Do you think that it's a pretty likely scenario that it'll be a handheld console hybrid?
Yeah, I
I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
think it's going to be a
Because
go
the
anywhere.
handheld market is dwindling, and it's not nothing right now. The 3DS sales are still pretty good. The Vita's is pretty
Yep.
fucked, but
It is pretty fucked, yeah.
but Nintendo still has that market,
Yeah.
right? They really do, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that love the handhelds way more than they love their consoles, which is totally fucking fair at this
Yeah.
point, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean,
But
the
I think
last
having a
Pokemon
hybrid
game-
makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's for
So much
Nintendo. Yeah,
sense.
certainly.
Yeah, for exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's how they have to do it.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, then they could get those teams, I guess, essentially working together, which would be kind of cool.
Yep.
I don't know if they.
Part of me thinks that the Wii U was just kind of like a test to get some of that hardware of like, can I get a screen on a thing and use it as a controller?
I think it was more like an in between. It was like we need something. We need a new console. Like, what's the best we can come up with?
Because
with
the Wii just fell.
this stuff.
It
yeah.
fell. They sold everybody that wanted one had one,
Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah,
They
well,
were
you
done.
can't get any more. People were just buying them secondhand after that.
That's right.
So you couldn't sell any more of those in stores. But yeah, I think the Wii U was kind of like a lateral move almost.
Right.
It's like just trying to do what they could with what they had and put it out in whatever amount of time they wanted to
Word.
do it. It was just kind of like making money for their investors.
Yeah.
They have to. I don't know if they want to be like in this sort of in between of generations, if that's like their goal to be like sitting between them, like release a year or two before everybody else.
They've
like
been
that's
doing that for a little while.
Yeah, I feel like that's like because they've been doing it so long, they gun for that sort of area to be.
They've like kind of separated themselves from the competition in a sense. Because even when you talk about, even when the Wii was winning completely, it was Microsoft versus PlayStation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
very little
console
people
wars,
were like, well, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Right?
But
they
everybody
were just
fucking
like,
had
we're a
one.
Nintendo fan and we're out and we don't care.
But that's the thing.
But they never went up head to head. Like like PlayStation and Xbox released like, oh, you're on Tuesday, we're gonna release Monday. Suck my dick.
Yeah.
You know, like they're not like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that they don't compete in that sort of like power. It's not like a they don't try and lift more weights than the other guys, right? Like they're not going to be stronger than the Xbox and the PlayStation consoles, right? And if they try, they're just going to get like their shit kicked every time. Yeah. So they have to compete in a completely different way. They have to go.
They've had almost a different mantra in game design as well. They're like, we don't need powerhouse graphics because we make
family games, and they have their
right?
own style, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, and this game kind of shows that you need it to at least be high definition at this point. This isn't even
you
720.
have to,
I don't think.
Yeah, you have to be somewhat relevant in terms of graphical prowess.
Really cool. He's sliding on a shield, shooting arrows like fucking Legolas. That's fucking badass.
It was pretty badass with a giant warhammer on his back and like a shield.
Yeah, and there's the wolf or whatever.
What mountain's that? Mount.
Death Mountain?
Looked like Death Mountain.
Did it have the ring around it?
It did.
Oh, shit.
Over to the right there if he pans over, but
maybe he will.
We'll see.
Oh, his face is all like red and like flushed from being cold.
And he's blowing frost out.
That's cool.
Some pretty neat effects. Like it's a good looking game, man. It really is. I'm gonna spend some time in it. I'm more excited for this than I ever was for Skyward Sword, and I ever was for Wind Waker. See, is that not Mount Doom in the back there? Looks like a mountain.
A volcano. It could definitely be
Looks Mount Doom-esque anyway.
Certainly.
It's not a circle anymore, but it looks like a cloud above it. But.
Yeah, it could be early times.
Are they in Hyrule?
I don't actually know. I think
maybe not.
I think it's like direct.
I don't ever remember snowy areas in Hyrule.
No. There's no snow-capped mountains. No, in Hyrule. No.
Dead. Game over screen.
The Great Plateau. Yeah, I think that this is like very close to Skyward Sword, which is supposed to be the first in the actual timeline. So this is probably, I don't think you're the same guy. That you usually aren't. You're usually another descendant, and it's like
Link, yeah.
and it's like 100 years later or whatever.
Timelines, they're so funny.
It's fucking intense.
So fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, but I think that this one's like very similar to that because that one was like the.
I don't need my Zelda games to be connected. I'm okay with them all being a different own entity with a new story, with some of the similar characters. I don't tend to think that much into it.
No.
And how does this relate to that one? I'm just like, give me solid gameplay, a neat story. I don't care if you reuse some of the same characters and just retell a different story with them. That's cool to me. It's kind of neat.
People like to read into things though and have
and
have it be more
they
than just
the
that
cinematic universes and all that kind of shit.
They want that behind the scenes thing to feel like they're included in something that not everybody gets.
And on top of that, you see one little thing and a nod to the past one, and you're like, "Ooh, there's a story there," and you instantly
you can just build all of these connections. Yeah, how does this guy get here? Yeah, he must have traveled with this donkey and this other fucking dude across all these plains.
A donkey and a dude,
and they were the best of friends for 3 years.
Kind of story. Anyway, that being said, Zelda, we're looking forward to it. Granted, we don't have a Wii U. We don't see much point in having one. We got friends with them. But I'm going to get an NX, more than likely, when I know what one is.
If this was releasing or was going to release this year or maybe even February, I might buy a Wii U just to play it. Because I love Zelda, and this looks fucking great.
The thing is, that's why I don't get an Xbox One, is because I can get all those games on a PC, and I have a really decent PC already, so it doesn't make sense for me to pay $500 for one, or $400 to $300, whatever the fuck it is. Doesn't make sense to spend $20 on one. When I already have a console that'll play those games, and the exclusives that are on there, I don't really care that much about.
You can get them on Windows.
Most of them. The ones that are only on Xbox, which is I think maybe one or two games.
Their big thing this year is play it anywhere, right?
This year. It's been out for a few years now.
Yeah, like Sunset Overdrive,
right?
You can't fucking play
exactly.
it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that. Yeah,
but Yeah, that's why I don't get one. But the Wii U, I feel like there's games that I would play on it now, like Pokken Tournament. I'd like to check out.
Yeah, I'd like to check that
Star
out.
Fox, I still want to play.
Yeah.
It got some flack, but I was watching our buddies Travis and Cheryl play it the other day when I went to pick up my laptop.
Yep.
And it looked fun as shit.
Yeah, it does look pretty fun.
So except for the whole that thing to aim, you got to turn it to aim. You don't have to look at the screen anymore, but you have to turn like a 6-axis thing.
Yep.
And that's never been my jazz, but I bet you I could do better than those two because I'm dope.
Yeah, that's cool. Mario Maker's cool. All the first party shit.
Yeah, man, Smash. Cool, I'd play the shit out of Smash.
Mario Kart.
Yep.
All that shit.
Mario Kart looks dope. We should get a Wii U.
Yeah, there you go.
Up top. Wii U. Dude Pool approved. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us on this episode of the Dude Pool Gamescast. As always, I'm the Dude 250 Nicky D, and that is Aliens Exist Taylor Sager. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to hit that like button. Makes sense, right? Simple logic. Don't forget to subscribe by hitting that subscribe button. Again, simple logic. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/official Dude Pool Gaming, and on Twitter at Dude Pool Gaming.
Did it.
From us to you, we'll catch you next time. Take it easy, amigos.
See
Adios. Uno más cerveza, por favor.